All right, so this is crazy looking. I'm just going to see if this haphazardly works. But I'm just thinking of all the craziness going on in the world right now and what to do about it. The wife and I watched a documentary last night, and of course at the end of it you're like, there's no hope. The world's so far gone, it's so whatever. I'm reading a book about socialism. This one here is I can't see what the thing is, so it's there somewhere, but it's Naked Socialist. It just talks about the Constitution, and then, of course, in the LDS faith, we have the thing that Joseph Smith talked about, how the Constitution would be hanging by a thread. And so I was Googling, okay, what do you do? Because you can't go out guns a-blazing. You can argue on Facebook, but for all the good it does you. And so it talked about character development being how the Constitution would be saved. And that was very anticlimactic for me, so I was like, how in the world is that, going to save the Constitution? And in the morning when I got up and I, get up early for work, and I was looking, or I was reading some stuff and I was doing work, and then just thoughts came to me, if I make the best decisions I can, my life will improve, right? If I make, I can choose whether or not to drink a Pepsi, which I'm drinking a Pepsi. My dad will get mad at me. And I'll get the consequences for it. And what's happening now is everything by force, right? And the science doesn't back it up. And I'm not going to argue for or against anything right now, because that's not the whole point of this. The point of this is basically your character improving is how the Constitution will be saved, because all the power is at the very bottom level, and then it moves up. So, someone above you represents you to, like a township, to mayor, to a county, whatever, to the state, and then the state to the federal government. And so everything above is supposed to serve everything below. All the power is below. And basically, force is trying to say, we're going to make you be happy, we're going to make you be good, we're going to force you. And so, everyone right now, myself included, goes, what can I do? What can I do? There's nothing to be done, right? We just have to put up with it. But if we can govern ourselves and make choices in our lives to make things better, things can go up. And of course, I'm trying to articulate this right now. So I'm not, I don't know everything. I don't know, this is my first time actually sitting down thinking about the Constitution and reading the Constitution and reading books on socialism and reading books on capitalism and the government, and learning what the three branches are and what they do. So anyhow, character development. And I have everything in here is in a wiki. So I started something on character development, and I have all of my notes from all my different books. So I just created something called character development, and I started adding stuff to it. And now this one right here, be a class act. This is from the book. Now let's see if we can get it from the book. Be a class act. All right, so creating successful relationships. This is from the book, The Success Principles. So I have the hard copy here. And I have different things highlighted throughout here, and I typed these all up in my notes. So I'm not trying to plagiarize anything. It's just in the book, and I just type it up. So I have all my notes here, so I can reference them quickly and use them and have them be actionable. So this is part of the book, The Success Principles, and so I have that here. And then this breaks it down into these pieces and whatnot. And so this is one of these parts here. So be a class act. So simply stated, it's to be a class act. That is, strive to become the kind of person who acts with class, who becomes known as a class act, who attracts other people with class to his or her sphere of influence. But how can you differentiate yourself as a class act in a world where most people are unconscious and unspecial? The answer is that you have to consciously work to become free from the many fears, worries, and anxieties that diminish the imaginations and ambitions of the vast majority of people. and operate outside the world of conventionality in a world of expanding awareness, creativity, and accomplishments. So I'm going to go in here. How can you differentiate yourself? Blah, blah, blah. So the answer. So I like that. It says the answer. So you're always saying, what can I do? And this is saying the answer. Free from the many fears, worries, and anxieties. And just so that I don't get this confused with my other list, I'm going to separate it here. And so this guy has a list too that we'll look at later. All right, so fears. What do I have on fear? All right. So this is everything I have on fear. I get anxiety, have anxiety attacks, just get really overwhelmed. So this is a success script. Here's some scriptures. Facing fear. One of my favorites is fear is physical. So I'm not sure if I want to copy this whole fear thing into that part of the wiki, but maybe I will, or reference to it. I'm not going to copy it. But fear is physical. So something I've been doing since the whole craziness is like I have a little chart things on my window, and I do like 10 push-ups a day, and it just gets my body strengthening a little bit, and then you're not so fearful all the time. So this is from a book. Let's see, Perfect Love. So this is a conference talk about how perfect love casts out fear. Steve Pavlina, he has some great audio content. I've saved it all to my computer and referenced it in my wiki. He has a website that you can just download his stuff. Another success script from the book Feelings Buried Alive. Feelings Buried Never Die. Something like that. I don't know. Okay. And here's the symptoms of the fear of poverty, the cost of fear, some things, and I haven't read anything about it. Tonight I'll be back in my bed, right? So at the end of the day, you're still going to be back in your bed. What's on the other side of fear? And a YouTube video with this guy. He wrote the 4-Hour Work Week. Tim Ferriss, I believe it is. So anyhow, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it here. So here's how to work on your fears. And then I'm going to also make it so that I can easily open up this article from other articles to reference it. tw.open. And okay, so we'll do that. Okay. So there's one on fears. Now, I don't know if I have a whole thing on worry. So this is the book, How to Stop Worrying. It's an excellent audiobook to listen to. But it has things that talk about living in day-type compartments, overcoming worry, the techniques to analyze worry. So if you look at something, you think it through, you don't tell yourself a story. One of the life coach gentlemen that helped me out told me the trick of the second arrow. And the second arrow, so you have, every time something happens to you, there's two arrows. One, the thing that happened, and two, the story you told yourself about it. And the story you tell yourself is what makes your mind go absolutely crazy and anxiety and fear. And then at the end of the day, the fear that you were so scared of never happened. So worry, break the worry habit. So keep busy, don't fuss about trifles. Now, each one of these expands really good in the audiobook. I did not take those notes. I do have some notes that attach to these notes. But How to stop worry journal. So I'm not going to put my worry journal there. I'm going to put this here for part of my character development next to worries. All right, and anxiety. And this is just a little article I have inside my wiki here. Good quote and just some tools. Slow your breathing, relax your muscles, become comfortable with uncertainty, rethink the usefulness of worry. Worrying does not do anything good. It doesn't do anything good. You can't worry a problem away. You can't, say I'm worried about this. Right? You can tell someone you're worried and then see if that changes what they do or influences them, but it doesn't go much farther than that. So this one's really good. Some journal entries which you guys are not privy to. Let's see. Cleaning up. Cleaning up has always been something huge. My desk area is messy. My bedroom's really messy. And you're worried about all kinds of stuff. If you clean up something, it does something to your brain and helps you out. Of course, exercising is huge. If you walk for 20 minutes, run for 20 minutes, even if you just do like some jumping jacks or something, that changes. And then free writing is really good. Just get a piece of paper. You can do it on a word processor, but it doesn't have the same effect always. And just start writing. I do something called the morning pages from the book, The Artist's Way, and it has you write 3 pages nonstop. So it's just your conscious mind just dumped on the page. And it doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to make sense, it doesn't have to whatever, but you do that every single day and then you gain a mental steadiness. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it here. Anxiety. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. That diminish the imaginations and ambitions of the vast majority of people who operate outside the world of conventionality in a world of expanding awareness, creativity. So you need a model of class act behavior to guide your own thinking and behavior. And then Dan co-authored this with the other guy who wrote all the Chicken Soup for the Soul stuff. So live by your own one standard. So I wonder if that says own, and I just did it wrong. I'll have to look through the pages. So maintain dignity and grace under pressure. So to me, that makes me think of Stoicism. Stoicism is something that has been really... Stoicism. Don't mind the swear words there. Don't get me in trouble either. Don't tell my dad. So I have some Stoic journals here. Let's see. I subscribe to this email thing that gives you daily Stoic things, and they're usually really good. Just something that just kind of helps you change your mindset. Let's go. Let's see. So when I was first trying to learn about Stoicism, I can't say these names, whatever that name is, talking to this guy, and he asked him hard questions. So, what's good? He goes, oh, well, are things good? But what is even better? Is character better? And of course he says, yes, character's better. And, so first they talk about all the things, but then second it talks about justice, temperance, courage, wisdom. Those things are your character, and those are more important. Those are better things to have than stuff. Stuff is good, character is better. So it kind of really breaks this down, and you can Google that, and there's some journal stuff and whatnot. But for right now, just to have something to reference back to when I'm looking about character. Oh, where am I? Right here. Okay, focus and improve the behaviors of others. So again, force is about making others. I think this is more about influence. Could be wrong, but I'm not going to try to get others to do what I want them to do. I will try to influence by my example. It's the only thing you can do, right? All right, so operate from a larger, inclusive perspective. Can we add anything to that? I mean, just reading and learning and progress, that kind of stuff. Let's come back, see if we can come back to an easier one. Increase the quality of every experience. Let's see, so class acts are creators rather than merely consumers, to constantly enrich the lives of others by introducing greater beauty, significance, uniqueness, and stimulation into every experience. So it kind of makes me think of like the win-win or no deal. I think it's from the Stephen Covey books. Win-win, no deal. And then this refers back to The Voice and Speed of Trust from the 8th Habit book. And this talks about, you'll notice the power of this and think win-win, no deal deposits behind the initial willingness to sacrifice or suspend your own interest long enough to understand what the other person wants most. So, I believe there's more on it. I'll have to find it. But win-win or no deal is a really cool concept, because when you're always having negotiations, I guess, with people, and you want to negotiate what you want out of life, and well, if you get what you want, I don't get what I want, and I lose. Or you don't get what you want, I get what I want, I win, you lose. Or we can both get half of what we want, and then it just gets silly. But you could just say, look, either we both win and we're happy about it, or we just don't do the deal, we don't do the business. So I'm gonna copy this because I want to expand on this at some point. Okay, where were we? Right here. That's 3 stars in. Alright, so that looks good. So counteract meanness, pettiness, and vulgarity. So, I mean, most of that, I mean, you just have to walk away from those kinds of things. I don't know if I have anything on that. Take responsibility for actions and results. So I like that one. There is a book called The Oz Principle, I believe. Oz Principle. This book is really good. It talks about staying above the line, not being a victim, not playing the victim card. Just, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know what to do, just poor me, right? And it's hard because everything, at work and in life, there's so many things going on that it's easy to play the victim. So let's go here. Common stages of the victim cycle, right? Ignore, deny, it's not my job, finger pointing, confusion, tell me what to do, cover your tail. I mean, that's a big one, right? You always got to cover your tail. And then wait and see. So, I mean, we honestly, truly get stuck in this kind of stuff. So, that is a good book for that concept to revert back to. All right. Strengthen the integrity of all situations. So before I was going to start this movie or think about doing it, or this video, integ. Do I have anything on that? Integ. If I can learn how to spell. Okay, so quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness, the state of being whole and undivided. So, like structural integrity. So that makes sense. That's a definition. That's, what am I doing here? So we know what integrity is. I don't know where to go with expand the meaning of being human. Increase the confidence and capabilities of others. The confidence in themselves by consciously choosing their governing ideas. Alright, let's just read through this and see if there's anything else to add. Does people want to do business with you? Do fewer things but do them better. Raise the quality of your attitude and change your behaviors for the better. Alright, so do fewer things. That makes me think of Essentialism. Alright, so could format that one better, but that's a good book about paring things down a bit. Let's give that a break line. Let's say C, Essentialism. Apparently it's spelled wrong. But, okay. And then this is a quote from that chapter of the book that talks about, this person treats himself a certain way and he expects others to treat him a certain way. So that's what I have on Be a Class Act. So I can hit enter on that or save. Please and thank you. Okay. So Be a Class Act, and that's the first part of my dive into developing personal character. And the next part here is just a quote from a Jordan Peterson book, 12 Rules for Life. I noted that the nature of such meaning was constantly represented in the great stories of the past, and that it has more to do with developing character in the face of suffering than with happiness. So, that's all I got for now. You could dive in more to this book or whatever. Anyhow, I just thought I'd put something really productive and uplifting and edifying on the book face because there's hardly anything good on there. So, hope you enjoy, and maybe I'll edit this video, maybe I won't.